Hello and good morning. It is October 28th currently, about 40 degrees outside right now, and I went for a walk. This beautiful trail I had never been on before, but I decided, hey, let's try it out this morning. And I feel like maybe someone else needs to hear this, but if you have no control over your life, or you don't have an environment that works best for you, nature, get the beautiful sun, nature always will be there. So when you're upset and you need to clear your thoughts, go for a walk. If you are living in a noisy environment and maybe are not getting along with everyone, or maybe you aren't able to have enough rest due to this, I advise you to go for a walk and lay in the grass, meditate, rest that way. And eventually, once you do that often enough, you will start to feel better. And know that life is constant changes. So this environment that you're in is not gonna be the end all be all. You know, time changes, people get older. As you can see, I'm here at a playground. This little slide, and just as this example right here, when you were a little kid being pushed on the swing right here, you were secure. You didn't fall out on the bottom. Then you got older, and I said, "Oh, all right, we can push you if you need help, but you only get this one bottom piece to support you now. The training wheels are off, in a sense." And that's how life continues. You may get less support as you go on. You may, have to go to a different park, a different playground. You may have to walk that trail every single day. You may have to go for a walk 3 times a day. Who knows? Who knows, right? Only you know your circumstance. But the thing is to remember that nature always loves you. Nature will never leave you uncomforted. Nature will never say things to hurt you. Nature won't do anything to hurt you. It's only if you are mistreating nature. So, I just wanted to share that. I know there's a lot of changes right now. As I stated, it is almost the end of October. So, right now there's a lot riding on this election season. But even without that distraction in the background, causing your monkey brain to go off and overthink and become unsettled, I want to remind you all to just be present. Be as present as you can when you're in nature as well. It's really something for you to change your mindset and your habits, but it's another thing to be disciplined and consistent with that mindset. Because also, when you're not consistent with things, but you do want the change constantly, you have to be willing enough to do it and commit to it with that consistency. Discipline and passion and hard work are fantastic, and they're great, and they're what a lot of people set as their goals, their end markers. I want to be hardworking at the end of the day. I want to be passionate about what I do at the end of the day. I want to be disciplined in what I do at all times. All right. But on top of that, in addition to that, you should also want to strive for your own, physical needs, your own physical determination, your own resolve, right? Because at the end of the day, we are only responsible for ourselves. That's all we're responsible for. So if we try to change our mind, try to change our environment, try to change our relationships, then that's something that we personally have to choose to do. The same goes for your mindset. The same goes for your routine. The same goes for your actions that you take. You are accountable for everything in your life. So, as long as you're focusing on the outside perspectives, that is all that your mind will be taking into account for. Okay, well, this person wasn't happy with my response, or my coworker didn't help me do this, or my boss is giving me a weird schedule, or the stuff with politics, stuff with local news, even the stuff with, again, maybe it's a roommate situation, maybe it's who you're renting from. Maybe it's just a family member that you can't really connect with. But either way, if you're focusing only externally, you will start to have that pattern continue in your life until you're older, and then it's an even harder habit to break, to not focus on the external reality instead of your internal reality. Because again, I believe that everything comes from within, right? So all of this trees and beautiful nature that surrounds me right now is helping me feel balanced and grounded, number one. But number two, it's helping me remember that, hey, these trees have been here a while. These trees started off as seeds, and then they sprouted to, a very delicate plant. And then it started budding, and then it started growing up, reaching out for the sun, photosynthesis, getting germinated, pollinated, all of these things, and the seasons changing over time help show the difference and the patterns of growth over time. So the leaves change, the birds make their nests, they come and they go. Some of the trees have produced little fruits or other little plants, that the squirrels come and investigate, right? But it also just reminds me of how much life can change around this environment. The trees have been here. Again, these trees, they're not small at all, but they have been in an environment that's gone through sun, a lot of heat advisory from the last 2 summers. So a lot of sun, a lot of smoke when there were the wildfires happening and it was spreading across the country. It's been through storms recently, very recently. It's been through a lot of heavy winds. It's been through rain. It's been through very cloudy, dark days. And now it's going through the colder weather transition. So it's been through a lot of things. And look, still beautiful. Still changing the color of the leaves. Still growing in different directions towards the sunlight. It's still going. And guess what? There are other trees around it that are different sizes, different widths, different, capacities to grow and what they produce, but they're all there still, right? So that's the thing you have to keep in mind, that it's not about quitting. It's about continuing to get up and do something else for yourself internally. Whatever works for you, right? Whatever works, stick with that. Whatever works for you internally. Not the fleeting flesh desires. None of that. No. No. Not getting into certain activities that take you away from journaling or meditating, not listening to other people on social media all day, not binge watching shows or series or whatever the case may be. Don't continue to go down a path that only benefits your external reality. Don't be controlled so much by your brain. Go into your heart space. Go into your gut. Go into what you know is best for you. And focus on your internal needs. You know, it's not about using people to get to a different space where you feel better also. That's not what I mean by go within and focus on your needs. It means, what is it that is triggering me right now? And go for a walk and ask yourself until you get to the bottom of that. Or what is it about this person's reaction or about this person getting triggered that is making me feel stirred emotionally, right? What is it about this environment or about this job that does not make me feel fulfilled at the end of the day? If it's a really big thing, if it's a really big deal that you are losing your sleep over, you're not eating, you're not taking care of your hygiene, you're not reaching out for help or advice from family or community, then it's definitely a problem, for sure. But also, I need you to realize how much the responsibility is on yourself. At the end of the day, the self is what we have. We can't control others. We can't just be in charge of others. We can't make people do anything. Sometimes we can't even make people see where their part in the blame is. So only take accountability and blame for yourself as well. When you're going on these walks, when you're meditating, when you're going within, remember that you're doing this for yourself and you can only take responsibility and you can only control yourself. And then at the end of the day, if you've done everything you can, then brush it off. Brush it off. You don't need that extra mental processing, as they say in technology terms. You don't need that space in your brain being used for something that has no outcome, has no resolve, has nothing good coming from it. But you train your mind over time and you stay consistent and you go within and take responsibility, then nothing in this world is going to bother you anymore. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. 2 months ago, I was a very different person from who I am today. And that's just because I was consistent. Did I change my mind? Did I want to quit? Did I struggle? Did I want to just be unresolved and just all of these things that are negative? Yes, that's the point. I was negative. I did have a stinking, thinking, negative mindset. A Debbie Downer, as they say. But you know what? That goes away over time. It does. And what I could tell you from my experience is when you stop reacting in the same way that you reacted to in the past, the same way that you reacted when, you would get triggered or frustrated, then your body starts to release the tension. Your body starts to release the trauma. Your body starts to internally fix itself. That is the other thing behind why it's so important to take responsibility for yourself. Because at the end of the day, your body and your mind will thank you. And then the people around you will notice. And then your community will notice because you're getting you're getting more involved, right? Because you love yourself and you want to be around people who love you and appreciate you and the things that interest you as well. And then you get out into the world and you see how many different perspectives there are instead of just you and the problem. Just some food for thought. I know it's easier said than done, and it's obviously easier to quit and walk away. But sometimes it's about breaking the pattern and not letting those things have power over you anymore. Don't let your feelings have power over you. Don't let anything have power over your state of being, your state of mind. Because that's what controls you at the end of the day. What you think will happen. So stop thinking about others, stop thinking about your environment, stop thinking about everything that has nothing to do with you internally. I love you. And I'm rooting for you, wherever you are out there. And I'm glad you're here today. Shalom.